Do you believe someone can truly change once they find God or religion, even if they have a promiscuous past? Alexis?
Yes, I actually was thinking about that. Can you remind me of your name?
Enola Blaze.
Nola?
Enola Blaze. My real name's Kayla.
Kayla.
Yes.
So I was thinking about that with Kayla because I had a former porn star on my show, and you should definitely watch that episode. And she transformed her life. She has kids, she's married, and she just came to her faith. And it was a really interesting conversation to talk about, you know, the industry, same thing, drug addiction, everything. And then she just gave up her life to God and, you know, met somebody at church who just wanted to know more about her. She was very open about, you know, her life and where she came from. And now she has like 3 kids, you know.
Damn.
She's been married to him for years, and what brought them together was faith. And I think that it is such a strong tenet, and people turn away from it so much. But what God can do in your life when you give up your life to God, I've seen it happen. If you want to see a miracle, turn to faith.
Wow.
And I want that for you, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, Kayla.
Thank you.
Just hopefully she don't go back. Okay.
She won't. She's been sober for 3 years. She's got this.
What
I
advice do
believe
you?
in you.
Thank you.
Sorry. What advice do you have for young women who turn to OnlyFans for solely financial reasons? What else could they do for money?
Literally anything else. You're not going to have a life of comfort. You're not going to have a life of like whatever you see on Instagram. I mean, I slept on friends' couches. I actually had a friend, ironically, in Miami who, like, we were best friends all through high school, went to a club one night, and our luck somehow ended up with, like, meeting, you know, Wyclef and Lil Wayne, and she just turned the whole life. And I remember I was so broke, and she was living in like a condo in Miami. We were in our early 20s, and I was visiting her coming from school, and she gave up school, you know, sleeping with everybody, Drake, you know, but she was living in, like, you know, imagine I'm like 20 years old, and I was 19, I think, and she was living, it just looked like she had so much, you know. And
Where's she at now?
well, I'm gonna update you on her story real quick, right? And she was so innocent, but then she just was effing everybody, and every rapper was paying for her. And I remember vividly crying on the phone with my friend named Devin, and I was just like, it's so unfair. She has everything. And it's like, if only I just slept with this guy, like I could have everything that he has. And he said, Candace, if you think that in 10 years your life is not going to be better than hers, you're out of your mind. Promise you, stop being friends with her. After I just couldn't look at her do this to her life anymore. And 10 years later, almost to the day, I was with Charlie Kirk. We walked into the Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles, and she was the hostess.
Wow, working.
Oh, shit.
So it's, you know, you make a deal with the devil, and then
Who recognized him
guess
first?
what? I mean, both of us, we were
immediately
literally
recognized.
best friends.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like inseparable sisters, and like the temptation, the money, the whatever from that one night. And she threw herself at the rappers too. Like it wasn't like it was Wyclef Jean. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was being like, she threw herself at him, whole thing. And it was wild. And actually, funny enough, then I went and started working out of school, and I was working in private equity. And my boss got married, and he wanted to get Wyclef Jean. So I hadn't seen Wyclef since and then I saw him, and he said to me, I'll never forget this, in the elevator, I am so proud of you for where you ended up in life. And like, because he just knew that I was the friend that said no.
Wow.
She was a friend that said yes. And so when I say this stuff to women, I understand how easy it is, and I understand how hard it is to like get off your feet. And I was the person crying, being like, oh my God, it could be so easy. But I'm telling you, like, it's just not worth it, you know? Like, it's not worth it. The person that you can attract, there's just so much more to life. And I want all of you guys to just like hear that message and know that like you just don't have to like live in the fast lane, you know? Live in the slow lane.
Isn't that
We
crazy?
need to clip that and send that
Yes.
to every girl that's
Can I ask her a
21 that
question?
wants to be a bottle rat and do all this like 304 shit.
By the way,
Real talk, man.
we had a girl on the show from Brazil. Remember, she was considering OnlyFans. Well, guess what? She did it. She made one. I wish she was here to hear that conversation, because she made her OnlyFans like 2 days ago.
It's being broke, it feels so permanent when you're in
By the
it.
way, I didn't buy it. Her friend told me. That's all I know.
Okay.
Just
Sorry, you were saying,
sorry,
Ken?
go ahead.
Sorry.
Candace,
Just like
may I
when
ask
you're
you a
being
question?
broke,
I'm
when you're
sorry.
broke and you're in it, it feels like it's just like, how am I ever gonna like get out of this? But I also tell people, because my faith is intact, that looking in the retrospect, every single challenge that God gives you, like he picks you uniquely for those challenges. You know what I mean? And I'm so grateful for being broke. I'm so grateful for like when I was sleeping in my car, sleeping on someone's couch, sleeping in someone's closet, like just trying to like stay alive in New York, because I know that it was like his perfect design to have me go through those experiences because there was something bigger at the end of that, where like now I can speak with authority when I'm like talking to Destiny, and he's like, "Are you lying about being poor?" This is the dumbest question I've ever had. It was so dumb. But I can speak with authority because I've been there. You know, I'm not saying this. I think I'm better than you. Like I know what options face a woman when they're young. You know, but don't do a deal with the devil.
I love that you said there's a choice because there's a choice. Women choose sometimes bad choices.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your advice for a young married woman?
Don't read that. That looks really bad. I wrote that.
Trust me, I'm having a hard time with these. Who wants to keep her marriage strong?
Put faith at the center of your marriage. Honor him, respect him. It's so funny because I'm such a bull in, like, people think of me as such a bull in the media, but like the only person I listen to is my husband. You know, like he's the only person that can get me to change my mind or see a different perspective. You know, and it's just because of the deep respect that I have for him. And like I just would never. Like he leads, let men lead would be another thing. Like that's men like to lead, and
The right man.
yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't be in a situation where I would
Yeah.
want to lead a man. Like doesn't feel right,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make me comfortable. Like let him lead, you know.
I just I always followed you and your presence in general because I did know that you came from a similar, not a similar situation, but I do know you came from like a hard situation, and I came from a hard situation. You know, I grew up, I was homeless until I was 13, 14 years old. I was, you know, whatever. And so that's why I took so much from you and everything you say, which is why I wanted to ask you that question, because I did notice, even though you don't talk a lot about being married, I do notice that there is a ring on your finger and you carry yourself in the presence of a woman who is satisfied and happy and accomplished in life. And I just want to know, like, what can I do to be that? What can I do to be for my husband that woman that I feel like you are for me? And that might sound kind of creepy or a little bit weird.
I think honestly, it's all about honor and respect. And like it seems crazy to say this, but the Bible, man, you read it and you're just like, man, this had to have been written by God because it just works. And it talks about that, about letting men lead. And people have sadly over the years just made that seem like it was something that was bad, you know, by pretending it meant like, oh, women are serving husbands and, you know, and they're miserable and things of that nature. But when you pervert the word, when you just pervert the word, period, your life kind of becomes perversion, you know, and so I think just, you know, respect yourself, obviously, but respect your husband and honor him.
And put away the tits.
What'd you say, Chris?
Put away the titties.
This nigga, bro.
He likes my titties. Actually, he's watching this. I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch this.
And sure
and
was
then he's
50K people watching
he's
too.
probably gonna. That's fine. Only one of them put a ring on my finger, so that's the only person I care about. That's it. As long as he's okay with my outfit, then everybody else should be okay because he stood at an altar and vowed to me before God.
All right, just
you
go
know.
to the next question.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
would say good question, but that's about it. Okay, next one. What is the best advice you give to a woman
Mine.
in her 20s?
Me.
Was that was you?
That was me.
Cool.
My best advice I give to women in their 20s is to know
their 30s.
that the 30s are better.
Okay.
Because I think that like when you're in something again, like if there seems like there's such permanence, and I hated my 20s because it was nothing but anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't have any money. I don't have a husband. I don't have anybody I can trust. It's just the most anxiety. Like it's sold to you like you're gonna be so free. It's like